This man had just come home from work. But when he looked around, he couldn't see his wife anywhere. Instead, the nanny appeared, bringing him a glass of water. She told him that his wife would be coming home very late that night. Without suspecting a thing, the man drank the water. But soon after, he started to feel dizzy. At that moment, the nanny called him down to the kitchen for dinner. However, when the man went downstairs, he was shocked to see her already wearing a nightgown. She softly told him not to worry, to just eat his meal first, and then they would figure out what to do next. Meanwhile, in a large house, the married couple Linda and Mark proudly watched their daughter Lily play the violin before heading out for their wedding anniversary dinner. Linda thanked the elderly nanny for agreeing to watch Lily overnight, but since the nanny was hard of hearing, she didn't catch what Linda said, which made Linda a bit uneasy. After the couple left, Lily told the nanny she was hungry and wanted pasta with cheese. Elsewhere, someone used a black marker to draw over Linda's picture while also watching a surveillance clip of a woman leaving a box outside a hospital. Back at home, the elderly nanny suddenly became disoriented and forgot she was cooking dinner for Lily. Seeing this, Lily climbed on a chair and suggested pouring the pasta into the boiling pot herself. But by accident, she dropped the box into the pot, causing boiling water to splash everywhere. At the restaurant, Linda's phone rang. She didn't want to answer, but Mark insisted, telling her to pick up. They rushed home immediately and found medical staff treating Lily's burn wounds. A medic explained that the nanny might be suffering from dementia and suggested the couple take her to the hospital for examination. Later, Linda met with the nanny, who kept apologizing non-stop. Sadly, Linda had no choice but to dismiss her. That night, in the bedroom, Mark suggested that Linda quit her job to take care of their daughter. But Linda argued that their family depended on her income to make ends meet. Mark explained that he only needed a few more weeks to finish renovating the house they had bought, hoping they would earn triple their investment. Linda, however, knew neither of them could stop working, so the only solution was to hire a new nanny. Weeks passed. At the office, Linda complained to her assistant about how difficult it was to find someone suitable to look after Lily. Meanwhile, at the construction site, Lily told her father she was bored and wanted to go home. Mark told her to go outside and play so he could finish his work. Out on the porch, Lily found a nail gun and curiously picked it up. Luckily, someone stopped her in time. Shortly after, Lily introduced Taylor to Mark, saying she had walked by and seen Lily playing with the nail gun. That evening, when Linda came home, Mark introduced Taylor. Coincidentally, she was also looking for a babysitting job. The couple interviewed her, and she claimed to have plenty of childcare experience. She even gave Linda the phone number of her former employer as a reference. Before going to bed, Linda called the reference, who gave glowing praise about Taylor. Feeling reassured, Linda phoned Taylor immediately to offer her the job. On the other end, Taylor expressed her gratitude while holding back tears. To feel more secure, Linda bought a hidden camera and a bottle warmer, ensuring she could monitor her daughter and the new nanny from her office. That afternoon, the elderly nanny dropped by to visit Lily. When Taylor saw her, she quickly told Lily to go inside and then scolded the old nanny, accusing her of scarring the child both physically and emotionally. Moments later, Linda arrived and asked what was going on. Taylor lied, saying the elderly nanny had scolded her for stealing her job. Feeling sorry, Linda comforted Taylor and invited her to stay for dinner. While setting the table, the phone rang, and Taylor answered it. On the line, the elderly nanny, thinking she was speaking to Linda, continued apologizing for what had happened to Lily. Coldly, Taylor told her that the family wished she were dead so she wouldn't take up space in this world. Returning to the table, she lied to Linda, saying it was just a spam marketing call. During dinner, Lily mentioned seeing her old nanny again. Linda promised she would call the old nanny the next day to check in. That night, however, someone broke into the elderly nanny's house. The next day, Linda received a call from the police informing her that the elderly nanny had died the previous night. They concluded she had taken her own life. While the couple attended the funeral the following day, Taylor stayed at home, tenderly caring for Lily and tidying up the entire house. When Linda and Mark returned, they were surprised to find everything spotless. Even more surprising, Linda discovered Taylor sleeping beside Lily. The nanny quickly stood up and explained that Lily had a nightmare, so she laid down beside her to comfort her. Linda told Taylor that she didn't need to clean the house since they only hired her to care for Lily. Noticing Linda's irritation, Taylor sadly apologized and left. The next day at the office, Linda's assistant noticed her watching the hidden camera and asked why she seemed so worried when Taylor was doing such a good job. Linda admitted she felt jealous, because Taylor was caring for her daughter, something she herself should be doing. Meanwhile, Mark showed a couple around the house he wanted to sell, but as he turned on the light, the bulb suddenly exploded, frightening them. While trying to chase after the couple, Mark accidentally hit his knee on something. He called his wife to tell her what had happened. But Linda was too busy to realize he needed comfort and encouragement. Instead, she gave him a half-hearted response and quickly returned to work. Back home, Mark sat on the sofa, and Taylor came over to tend to his injured knee. She then handed him a drink and some medicine to ease the pain. Learning that he'd had a rough day, she spoke sweet words to help relieve his stress. They chatted for a while. Suddenly, Taylor leaned down, intending to kiss Mark, so he immediately pulled away. After that, Mark went into the bedroom. When he didn't see Taylor in the front yard, he turned on his computer to check the cameras. To his shock, he saw Taylor staring directly into the hidden lens while seductively taking off her clothes. It turned out she had known about the hidden camera all along. That night, Linda reviewed the footage recorded earlier in the day, but just as the clip reached the part where Taylor undressed, the video suddenly glitched and became unwatchable. One day, while monitoring the cameras from her office, Linda unexpectedly overheard Taylor mentioning the name, Z Lamb, so she immediately wrote it down in her notebook. She then asked someone to dig into legal documents, genealogical archives, and criminal records in hopes of finding that name. The result? There was indeed a man with that name living in a town 100 kilometers away. Linda left a voicemail at home telling Mark that she would be working late and not coming home for dinner. Unaware that Taylor had overheard the message, that afternoon, Linda visited Taylor's parents. Meanwhile, Mark returned home from work, looked around, but couldn't find his wife. Only Taylor appeared, handing him a glass of water. She told him Linda wouldn't be home for dinner. Over on the other side, Taylor's parents expressed concern over their daughter's disappearance. To be sure she had found the right person, Linda asked to see photos of their daughter. But the father only showed her scandalous, revealing pictures of Taylor, forcing Linda to lie and claim the girl she met wasn't their daughter. Back home, Mark began feeling dizzy after drinking what Taylor gave him. When she invited him to dinner, he was startled to see she had already changed into a nightgown. She then poured him another drink, secretly adding some strange powder. Meanwhile, as Linda was about to leave, Taylor's mother followed her and admitted she knew Linda had found their daughter. However, she begged Linda to keep Taylor away from her husband, revealing that Taylor and her father had engaged in inappropriate behavior. That night, Linda returned home wanting to tell her husband everything, but Mark had already fallen into a deep sleep, so she decided to save it for later. The next day, Linda had a crucial presentation with the company's board of directors, but suddenly, the video glitched, switching to a clip of Mark and Taylor being intimate. Furious, the director immediately fired Linda. Shocked and embarrassed, she rushed home, told Lily to go to her room, then confronted her husband. Mark apologized sincerely but insisted he couldn't remember how it happened. That was when Linda realized Taylor had planned everything from the start. Wanting this family for herself, Linda hurried upstairs to find her daughter, only to discover Lily was missing. The couple called the police. Officers informed them they had spoken to Taylor's adoptive parents, the Z Lamb family. Hearing this, Linda asked who Taylor's biological parents were, but the police explained she had been abandoned outside a hospital as a baby. Horrified, Linda rushed upstairs to check Lily's room camera. To her dread, she saw Taylor and her daughter crawling out from under the bed, leaving a message telling Linda to come alone to a house for sale if she wanted her child back. Before leaving, Taylor's mother took something from a toolbox. At the house, Linda saw Taylor aiming a nail gun at Lily in the attic. Linda told Taylor she knew why she was doing this. Linda asked how she found her, and Taylor revealed she had seen Linda on a hospital security camera. Taylor believed Linda was the one who abandoned her outside the hospital 18 years ago, leaving nothing but a teddy bear. Linda admitted she had been irresponsible, saying she left her newborn behind hoping she would grow up in a proper family. Taylor confessed she endured abuse and scolding from her foster parents and always dreamed of finding her biological mother to finally have happiness. But when she tracked Linda, she realized the woman never remembered her and had continued happily with her new family. That was when Taylor swore to destroy everything Linda had. Finally, Linda showed her a gold necklace, explaining it was the only thing she left with her baby at the hospital. And she never left a teddy bear. Linda clarified she wasn't Taylor's mother, her real daughter had died 8 years earlier, and the adoptive father had returned the necklace to her. Linda tried to make Taylor understand she wasn't the only baby abandoned at the hospital that night, but Taylor refused to believe her. Linda tried to grab the nail gun, but Taylor struck her on the head, knocking her unconscious. Minutes later, Mark arrived and pretended to go along with Taylor's delusion of becoming a family together. But Taylor saw through his act and shot several nails into his chest. Suddenly, Linda grabbed Taylor from behind and hurled her out the attic window, sending her crashing to the ground below. Months later, the happy family lived peacefully in a new house by the sea. Meanwhile, on a bus, a blonde-haired tailor was seen cradling a baby boy. When a woman asked what his name was, Taylor replied, "His name is Mark, just like his father." What do you think about this movie? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.